So now, so yesterday one program we written to display first to last manner. So we're declaring cursor for we selected some name and salary. Okay, so from EMP, and after that I need to open C1 and fetch last to first manner. So I'm using last method from C1. This is, we said loop starts from last row, okay, in table. Okay, and after that we are going to be using while condition. So while underscore fetch status is equals to 0, then later begin, and after that again we are writing fetch payout. It's a previous way I want to get here. So this is, we said here the loop continues, loop continue, okay, from last okay, from last loop continue up to first row in table. Okay, this is what. Now continue up to first row in a table. Now later after that here we said ended, and closing our C1, deallocate your C1 memory. But this is by default what I said. Your cursors are which type of cursors by default? Okay, forward only cursors. So now whatever we declared here, this is forward only cursor we called. This is forward only cursor we called. So when I want to go for to execute this one, see what it was happening. It's showing error. The fetch type last cannot be used with forward only cursors. So it's a clear information was given. The fetch type last cannot be used in forward only cursors. Okay, so this is why it is not supported. Means the forward only cursors are fetching rows in forward directional only and supporting only one method next. Okay, that's why we can't get this information by using forward only. So now to overcome this problem and fetching your data from any directionally, like so you want to fetch that either forward direction or backward direction or first one, last one, exact positions, increment or decrement. So any kind of directionally, suppose you need to fetch your data, okay, fetch your row data from a table. So there you can use a scroll. And scroll advantage is what? Now here all 6 fetching methods are supported here. All 6 fetching methods are supported, like next method, first, last, prior, absolute, and relative, and all methods are supported. So, but how to create a scroll cursors? How to create a scroll cursors means simple. The scroll cursors just come to, this is forward only, but here just I'm going to pass in my name here. So the scroll cursor is just a keyword. So when you're passing keyword scroll, that it is a scroll cursors we call. Okay, the passing scroll keyword, then this is which type of now? It is a scroll cursor. It's not a forward only, it is a scroll cursors. And scroll cursor supporting last method, prior method, any method, it was going to be supported. And let you see to execute it here. Let you see to execute it here, then it will go to support. And from last to first manner, so last record. So last record, their name and salary, later Miller. So let you see if you want to go for to call your table EMP, come back here. Okay, this is actually your table. And if you see your table, okay, the last record is what now? Warner. So Warner, previous, Miller, Fraud, James, Adams, Turner, King, Scott, Clark, Blake, Martin, Jones, okay, Ward, Allen, Smith. So now the output also you can see, okay, first Warner. So Warner, later Miller, Fraud, James, like this from top to, that means last, bottom to top. So bottom to top wise, we are going to be fetching the data by using of what now? Scroll cursors. That means scroll cursors supporting to fetch your rows data, fetch your row data from a cursor memory in any directionally. Okay, now? So this is one example you can observe. And the same to same, suppose I just go for, so in this, okay, if I want to ask here one example, okay, I'm asking here, for example, suppose, okay, I'm going to implementing, that means a program to implement all six fetching fetching methods. Okay, to fetch all six methods by using scroll cursors. So now we can see one program I'm showing now. Okay, all fetching methods how we can use in one single program under scroll cursors. Okay, let you see now. So I want to declare here the scroll cursor. So declare cursor name, and I'm passing here cursor. The cursor name is scroll for suppose select. Okay, so emp number comma ename from emp table. And here I'm declaring two variables here. One is emp number purpose integer. One is ename. I'm taking varchar of some size. After declaration of this one is over, then after that we need to open C1. And after that fetch, see I'm using all methods. First fetch last from C1, and those name and number I'm storing into at the emp and ename. And that information I need to print here. So I'm printing here, okay, employee, okay, employee number and name is okay. So now I'm using concatenate cast of at the rate emp number as a varchar and concatenating comma concatenating at the rate a. So now this is what guys here. I just want to print that employee name and number. Okay, now right. And now after this, next we have to go fetch last after prior from C1, storing under emp number comma at the rate email. And later this is also previous, that means last row, previous row I want to print here. Okay, then we are going to fetch, and here I'm using absolute, suppose I'm using absolute 9, okay, from C1 memory. Okay, I'm storing into at the rate emp number comma at the rate name, and that absolute 9 means ninth position employee data we are fetching. And the data I'm using relative -2. So relative method, previous method is absolute 9. So 9 minus 2, that means 9 minus 2 means which position? 7th position row will come. If you are giving here, suppose +2, if I'm giving relative 2 means it's an incremental manner. So 9 plus 2, it means +2 means what? No, increment. 9 plus 2 means 11th position will come out. If you use minus means 9 minus 2, 7th position is coming. Okay, right. Let you see. And from C1, storing into emp number at the rate of in. And I want to print that employee details. After that, I need to fetch here first row, first method I'm using, and first row I'm taking now at the rate emp number and email. And that is also I just want to print. After fetch, first after next from C1 storing into emp number and @ename. So I need to fetch. So all 6 fetching methods. Can you see, guys? All 6 fetching methods we use it here. So first last after prior, prior after absolute, absolute relative first to last. Okay now? So after going to all fetching method, here I don't need any while loop because exactly the methods I'm using, that's why directly I'm writing here. And finally you have to close your C1. Finally deallocate your cursor memory. Okay now let enter the program I selected now and executing, whether it was going to be happen or not. Let me see. Now we can observe. So now we can observe to see your output. Okay. So your first method is last method I'm using, fetch last. So last employee, who's this last employee in my table? If you want to come back to table also, your table last employee Warner. So Warner and his number is 7235 Warner. So he's the last employee. So that was displayed now. So that was displayed in this. So yes, 7235 Warner last. The last method we taken out. After last method, what I'm using prior. Prior means previous record. Prior means previous record. So first method is last. You just count from last row previous, from last row in your table, last row previous record I'm fetching. So previous record number and name. Let you see last row Miller. So Miller previous record is Miller. Sorry, Warner. Warner previous record is Miller. Warner previous record is Miller. Getting my point now? Warner previous record is Miller. So Miller 7934 Miller. So let you see 7934 Miller is what? Okay. Next one is what after prior I'm using absolute 9. Absolute line. So absolute method, we're taking exactly position. The position I was given n is equals to 9. So 9th position, which row is there? Let you check in my table. So count here. Smith 1, Allen 2, Word 3, Jones 4, Martin 5, Blake 6, Clark 7, okay, Scott 8, and King 9. So 9 is a king. So that means absolute 9 position. What is now? King. So you got it now? Absolute 9th position. What now? King. The king employee name and number, we got it. Okay, now that is what. After that, if I'm using after absolute 9, after we are using relative. So the relative previous which method are using, based on that method, your relative will be either increment or decrement. For example, here -2 I was given. So 9 minus 2 means 7th position row. 9 minus 2 means it's a 7th position row. Let you come out. Now here, king is a 9 now. So 9, this is a 9 king, 8 and 7. 7, who is this here? Clark. So he's a 7th position. King is a 9. 9 minus 2, 7, Clark. So Clark is there. After king, yes, Clark is displayed. Okay, now, so relative method, understand now? This is satisfied. Next one is first. I'm using next method is what now? First. First employee name is what? Smith. So let you see Smith, first employee. Who is my first employee in this table? Smith. Smith is my first employee. Smith after next employee, Allen. Now you got it now? Smith is a first employee. After Smith, we are getting next employee is Allen. Okay, now. So now all fetching methods, it was working or not, right? And now this is what is the advantage of scroll cursors. This is the advantage of scroll cursors. That means scroll cursors are supporting all fetching methods. Supporting all fetching methods. Okay, now, right? So this is one example of scroll, how it was fetching the data in any directionally. So here all fetching methods means next method I used for forward directionally. Okay, first method I used only first row. Last method I used only last row. Prior method I used previous row. Absolute method I used exactly position row. Relative method I used either increment or decrement row. Okay now, so that all are supporting here in scroll, right? Now, so this is scroll cursor advantage. And the next one is, again, as per the nature of cursors, again it was saying here, static and also dynamic also we can say. So what is static and what is dynamic? Means here observe. Static is nothing but, okay, so simply we can say when we create or when we declare a cursor with a static keyword, with a static key, okay, when we declare cursor with a static key, okay, so static key, then we called as static cursors, then we called as static cursor, okay now, right? But this static cursor, static means what now here, so carefully observe. So we cannot modify, okay, we cannot modify. Suppose if you want to do any modification in your cursor memory, that modification will not affected into your table, okay now. So instead of explanation, I will show you practically, you can get some idea, okay now. So if you see practical, then you will get some idea. Okay, so come to practical, I will show you what is static cursor and what is dynamic cursor. So same as dynamic cursor is nothing but, it is also simple definition. When we create, okay, a cursor with a dynamic key, with a dynamic key, then we called as dynamic cursor, okay. Then dynamic static cursor, okay, how can you say your cursor is a static and how you can say your cursor is a dynamic? Okay, let us see small example for understanding of static and dynamic come out. So practically I will show you, easily you can understand, right? Now suppose guys here, carefully observe, I'm creating my cursor c1 cursor, and now I'm going to pass in here the keyword is static. For select salary is one of column I'm taking here from EMP table, okay now. So I was taken here static key I'm using, so static cursor. After that I'm declaring one variable for required selected column salary, it's the money type, okay, right? So later on you can see here whatever the condition, okay, yes, some condition also I'm giving, because when you want to update that particular, okay, record, so you can understand where EMP number is equals to some 7788, okay, right? So this is what the condition I was taken. After taking the static cursor declaration along with some where condition I used here, where EMP number is equals to 7788, and later one variable is declared, right? After that, now I want to open my C1 as usual, and after open here, one of my command I'm using update command. So update EMP set salary is equals to, suppose some salary I'm passing here 66,000, where EMP number is equals to 7788. Okay now, one update statement I written. After writing and after updating your employee salary, whose employee number 7788, then later I'm going to fetch my data. So the data I'm fetching from cursor memory. So that means, are you updating? That means your update query is executed on table, and whatever that update query executed on table, and whatever the table salary column of 7788 employee salary was changed here, so that will be affected. That means once table data is updated, then that effect will be happening on cursor or not, that I want to see it. That's why Here I'm writing first update query. Why I'm writing first update query means first I'm going to user trying to updating salary of 7788 employee in table. In table means in your database memory. Okay, now so whatever we updated salary in your table, like in your database memory, so that updated data is reflecting in your cursor or not, reflected in your cursor or not, so that I want to see. That's why I'm taking like this, and that reflected amount, the reflected information I'm storing into variable salary. After that, salary I need to print simply at the rate salary. And after that I need to close C1 and deallocate C1. Okay, now so careful observe, careful observe. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to updating EMP table salary column data 66,000 whose employee number 7788. But the same 7788 employee data, salary data, we are retrieving from table, storing under which memory? Static cursor memory. Static cursor memory. Static cursor memory. Okay, now retrieving 7788 employee data and storing under cursor memory. So in cursor memory, whatever the salary was stored, that will be 7788 employee. Okay, now and now we can see 7788 employee. Okay, this one, this person salary how much here? 75,000. Careful observe, carefully observe. 75,000 is your 7788 employee salary. 7788 employee salary 75,000 is there in my table. Understand now? In my table 75,000 is there. Okay, so this 75,000 rupees I'm here retrieving. So retrieving and storing under which memory? Static cursor memory. Now tell me, now in your okay, otherwise you can come out. Okay, so this is your database. This is your database. Carefully observe, carefully observe. This is your database. So in database memory, okay, in database memory, EMP number 7788 employee salary, how much is guys here? 75,000. Okay, now 75,000, right? So this is in my table, it was having, okay, before executing of this program, before executing of this program, how much is there? Means 75,000 is there. Okay, now right, 75,000 before execution of the program. This employee salary 75,000. Okay, that 75,000 employee salary retrieving from EMP table and storing under static cursor variable memory. So my static cursor memory name is what? C1. Okay, now right, right. So now are you declaring static cursor memory? So the name of this, static cursor. What is my static cursor name? C1. Cursor name is C1. Okay, retrieving the data. Okay, same data na? Yes, same data we are retrieving. Employee 7788 employee salary, same salary I'm storing under static memory also. Carefully observe. So before, okay, execution of the program, your database table EMP number 7788 employee number salary 75,000. The 75,000 same salary I'm retrieving from the table and storing under static memory. Static cursor. Cursor means temporary memory. So static cursor memory C1. Okay, right now. So now the program understand now. Okay. So now what I'm going to do after storing that variable is normal, open and updating now. This update command is executed. This update command is executed into where it is executed. This update command executed on where? EMP table. Updated where? EMP table. EMP table means where? This one. This is a database. This is EMP table. This is EMP table. Yes or no? Your EMP table here. So are you updating salary of employee 7788 in EMP table of database memory? Not in this. Not in this. Okay, we are done in this. Let happen. What happened? You can see. Carefully observe. I just executed. Carefully observe. Carefully observe. I executed, and your output, what it was displaying. Observe carefully. Carefully observe. Yes. One row is updated, but in your cursor memory salary, whatever it was printed, your cursor memory salary is 75,000 only. That means you just come out your table. So come out to your table. 75,000 is there now. So 75,000. I just refresh. Yes, I refresh. But 7788 employee salary is how much updated here? 66,000. 66,000 successfully updated in your database table. But your cursor is showing how much? But your cursor is showing how much? 75. So that means come to here. Now in your database table, 75,000. Okay, in your database table, 75,000 successfully updated with how much guys here? With how much guys here? With the 66,000 updated successfully. But whatever that updation was going to be happening in the database memory table, that will affected on your static cursor or not? See, your database EMP table salary was successfully updated, but your cursor memory showing, what it was showing, still it was showing only old salary. Old salary means 75,000 only showing. But here 66,000 updated. But here it was showing old salary only. Now tell me, now your static cursor memory data change or not change? Come on guys, static cursor memory data, memory change or not change? Your salary change? Yes, not change. Yes, not change. So in database memory, your table successfully updated. But in a static cursor memory, your data is not updated and your data as usual showing 75,000. So this nature is called as a, what is the nature of this is called as a static cursor. So static cursor nature, understand now? So what is the static cursor means? When we do some operation on your database table data, okay, that will not affected in static cursor memory table data. So in your static cursor memory, whatever the table data is stored, that will not affected, only affected your database table data. So you've done your update operation on database table. but that was not affected on static cursor memory table. Okay, now, so this nature is called as a static cursor nature. That's why here one row is updated successfully in your database, but still 75,000 is showing now. This is from where it is showing means it was showing from which memory, static cursor memory, which memory, static cursor memory. This row is updated into where it is, database table. Okay, now, and the 75 showing from which one here, static cursor table. Static cursor table, that is database table. This is static cursor table. So this nature is called as a static nature. So static nature, finally what you say, when we perform the database operations on base table means database table, that will not affected into static cursor memory tables, that was not affected into, or that is not reflected or not affected into static nature. Okay, now this is okay, static we call. What is dynamic? Dynamic means what? Now we are understanding dynamic. Once we change the data into database table, that will be reflected into dynamic cursor memory also. Understand my point now? So this is, carefully observe, this is static cursor, the nature. I think all of you clear it, right? Now let me go. Now dynamic cursor I will show you now. Come to dynamic cursor, same as it is. Again, this is my table. This is my database memory. And now here I'm creating dynamic memory. Okay, right. Right. Okay, now dynamic you can see. Come to your table. Now, suppose I changed here my just in place of static, I'm using dynamic key, and some employee number I'm changing here. Suppose this time I'm changing here 7900, and the same 7900 I will take. Okay, now observe now, right? So 7900 first I have to see in my database table. 7900 here is there. Carefully observe. 7900 in your database table, 10,000 is there. Present how much? 10,000. Okay. In database. Okay, in database. EMP number 7900, employee salary. How much showing? Present salary is 10,000 rupees. Okay, now the same 10,000 rupees, 7799, employee, same 10,000 rupees is storing under dynamic memory. Okay, now so same as this. So now let you come out. 10,000 is there in my table. Okay, so now, so that 7900 employee, 10,000 salary, retrieving and storing under dynamic cursor memory location. Okay, now, right. After storing into this, same as usual, you are executed. Now this time I will change here. For example, 10,002, I will take here, okay, 22,000, I'm just for. Carefully observe, carefully observe. I am executing this program, and this is dynamic cursor program I'm executing. Let you see to execute it now. So once I executed, your output you can see I'm executing, and output also. Careful observe, careful observe. Now, so one row is affected in your, that means here what is the mean of this? Okay, updated in database memory table. Okay now, and here this is one to update it successfully in your EMP table, and your 22,000 also showing this data showing from which memory? From dynamic cursor memory table. So let you come out your table EMP. I just refresh, then come to here, So 7900 employee salary 22,000 changed. 22,000 changed here, right? So successfully updated. Okay, and whatever the successfully updated in your database table, the same will be affected. The same will be affected into my cursor also. See, 22,000 only. The cursor is not showing 10,000. Cursor is showing what? 22,000. So that means once your database memory table data is updated, then the corresponding data, whatever it was there in the dynamic cursor memory, that data also affected or updated. So that is now in the come to diagram. Okay, so this 10,000 successfully updated with the 22,000. My point understand all of you? Now? So 10,000 successfully updated with the 22,000. So whatever it is updated into your database memory, here also same thing is happening. Here also in dynamic memory also change. 10,000 is updating with the 22,000. Okay now? So this is what. That means dynamic cursor, static cursor difference is observed. Dynamic cursor, what it was going to be telling finally, the conclusion point here. Dynamic cursor, what it was happen. Once we update data in database table, that will affected affected in dynamic cursor table also. Okay, so once we update data in database table, that will affected in dynamic cursor table also. So that's why you can see, here 22,000 showing now, and same data here also 22,000 showing. But static nature, what happened? Here 66,000 is showing in your database table, but here not showing 66, it's showing 75,000. So because it is not affected. So here the conclusion is what now? Same conclusion here also I can write now. What is the conclusion? Once we update data in database table, that will not affected in static cursor table. Okay now? So that's why static means what now? It doesn't change. Static means what now? It doesn't change. So whatever the 75,000 is there, as it is 75,000 only showing. It means static means it doesn't change. Dynamic means what now? It can change. Dynamic means what now? It can change. That's why once database table data changed, automatically your dynamic cursor table also changed. But static memory, what was telling, once your database table is changed, that will not affected and not changed in our static cursor table. So these are we called as what now? Dynamic cursor and static cursors we call. Okay, right. So these are what we called here. So these are called as the cursors and the nature of, as per the nature of cursor, there are four types, and static, dynamic, okay, scroll and forward only. So these are the different behaviors. The cursor can be going on different behaviors. The cursor will be showing us, okay, in your database. Okay, no? So this is one of the concept of cursors, guys, here in our TSQL part. Okay, and the next one is okay, the next one is next block here, sub blocks. So as of now, what we discuss up to cursors, these are all just like anonymous blocks. That's why whatever the programs we written here, these programs are not saved. Okay, now these programs are not saved, and whatever the code I written, the code is also not saved, just to writing and compile execution and providing output. Okay, compile, execute and providing output. But these cursor programs, before select a query programs, okay, the general programs, these are all we are done in anonymous blocks. So this programming code we cannot save, it doesn't store it also. Okay, now just your logic is implemented, your logic is testing. After testing your logic, successfully executed or not, after executed, output is providing or not as per your logic. That's it, but we can't save it. So that's why anonymous block programs or anonymous blocks are temporary programs, temporary blocks, no reusability, no name of the block. So this kind of problems are we have it. That's why in real time also, instead of anonymous blocks, the people was going to be focused, and most and very oftenly the people are using what now, sub blocks. Okay, na? So sub blocks are very important. Anonymous blocks are no one can use, okay, in real time. It's only for testing level only it was helping us, but developing side not helping us, and there is no use of developing side. But if you go to any application development side, for example, database projects or .NET projects, Java projects, okay, this kind of application development or projects developments, we are using subblocks mostly instead of anonymous. Okay, now this is very, very important for you guys here, subblocks. And subblocks, what it is means, I have already said to you, these are called as a named blocks. These are called as a named blocks, okay, which will save, okay, which will save the code, and also reusable, the code. So saving and reusable both are going to be happen. And the most important advantage of subblocks is, okay, these are, we said, pre-compiled of code. Okay, pre-compiled code. Okay, so pre-compile means what now? Means first time compilation, guys. First time compilation only. From the second time onwards, so once your programming code first attempt, your programming code is successfully compiled here. From the second time onwards, that code no need to compile again and again. that code no need to compile again and again. Okay, now, so that is the advantage of subblock. That means one time my code is compilation only. Once code successfully compiled here, then not necessary to compile again and again. So your code and without a compilation directly executed. Okay, now without compilation directly executed. That is the advantage of subblocks. And these subblocks objects in TSPL, there are three types of subblock objects are, okay, so very important objects. First one, stored procedure. Second one, stored function. Third one, trigger. So these are the three subblocks objects: procedure, stored function, and trigger. So these all three subblocks objects are having the name. That means whenever you want to create a stored procedure, compulsory we should give a name. When we created a stored function, compulsory we should create a name. When you create a trigger, compulsory we should give a name. So that's why these are called as a named blocks we called. Without a name, you cannot create a procedure. Without a name, you cannot create a function. Without a name, you cannot create a trigger. So whenever you want to create a procedure block, function block, trigger block, compulsory we should give a name of the block. That's why these objects are called as a subblocks objects. Otherwise, named block objects also we called. Named block objects also we called. Okay. So in these three blocks, whatever the code are you written, that code will be saved and that code will be reusable. Whatever the code are you written in this procedure, function, and trigger blocks, those code automatically saved in your database memory, and that code you can reusable into application. Okay, no? and these are all are pre-compiled blocks we called. Why, sir? Procedure, function, trigger, why, sir? These are all are called a pre-compiled blocks means, okay, because only one time compilation only happen. So once your code, whatever you written in the procedure, function, and trigger, these are first time only compilations will be go and done. So once compilation successfully done, then from second time onwards, your procedure block code, your function block code, your trigger block code directly executed without a compilation. Okay, na? So that's why these are called a pre-compiled blocks or pre-compilation of code, we can say. Okay, na? Understand na? So, and these are very important in your TSPL language. Okay, so one by one we will discuss what is stored procedure, what is stored function, and what is trigger. Okay, na? Check. But these things are I will start at stored procedure from tomorrow onwards. Okay, so tomorrow the first object we will discuss stored procedures concept. Okay, right. And before leaving, guys, a small information from the management side. Okay, I think we all of you know this is okay. So Naresh IT management people are providing one excellent program in Naresh IT that is called a job guarantee program. Okay, now so through this program, what is the main purpose of Naresh IT? Through this program, they want to give a placements. They want to give a placements to students. So already the Naresh IT, this program already they are going to be conducting, like this kind of programs are conducting from so many years back onwards. Okay, so almost every year they're going to be conducting this kind of the things to provide placements to the students. Okay, now so here also they started here. This is completely free. Okay, now it's a pre-job guarantee program. Okay, but this program, if you want to go to this program, what you want to do means you have to go for to write one online test, to write one online test. Okay, na? To write one online test. So that online test, okay, whatever it is there, online test. So this that create, that means they are going to conducting one online screening test. They are conducting. Okay, na? They're conducting one online screening test on which technologies means, yeah, technologies are given by people. So let you see. So Java and Python, .NET, Selenium, and UI full stack. So on these technologies, the people will be conducting on screening test, and who are going to be learning these courses in Nourish IT. Suppose Java students, Python students, .NET students, Selenium students, and UI full stack students. So who are taking courses on these technologies. Okay, now, so those people will writing one online screening test as per your technologies. Suppose you are a .NET student, then you will write a test on .NET technology. And this one only for the Nourish IT students purpose only, this one. Not other students, Nourish IT students. Okay, now, right. So, but this examination, do you want to write this examination? Okay, what is your minimum qualification means? This examination only for these people, BE, BTech, all branches, MCA 2018, 19, 2020 pass out people only eligible for this examination. Okay, there was clearly mentioned. And suppose once you want to attend this examination, these people, so these people want to attend this examination, those are must and should be, here one note point observe, the management people are given, there must and should be complete 75 percentage of syllabus in their courses. Suppose you are a .NET student. So in .NET, what it was there, C# .NET. So that means you finish it C# .NET, C# .NET. Okay, 75 percentage. Okay, next ASP.NET. Okay, 75 percentage. Next SQL Server. Okay, you can finish it 75 percentage. So whatever the three courses, C#, ASP, and SQL Server, in those courses wise, you should complete the syllabus 75 percentage. And almost our SQL Server, almost we completed 75 percentage. Okay, so there is nothing problem in SQL Server side. Okay, now, so now we are covering procedures also. So that's why almost a 75 plus syllabus we covered. Okay, so the remaining courses C#, and ASP, okay, you have to check it how much percentage you finished here. So based on that, overall all the categories of courses, minimum 75 percentage once you complete, so those students can go to write this examination. Okay, so go to write in examination, right? And this examination to writing purpose, okay, you can go for some registration procedure was there, and the registrations, okay, so here before 24th May the registrations, and your link also there. So please take it, this link guys, here all of you. So take this link, http://bit.ly/NIT test. So through this link you have to register, and once you go to this link, one registration form is open. In that registration form, whatever the contents are asking by management people, so you just fulfill and submit. After that, they will send one message to you. They will send one message to you. Okay, on 25th, your test will be conducting here. So 25th May, exactly which time? That means what is your time of your examination? So date was 25th, but what is your timings of examination? That information they will pass to you through your the mobile number, whatever the working mobile numbers are there. Na? Okay, so through your mobile number, they will send it to you. They are sending through mobile or mail. Okay, mail or mobile. Through this, they will pass you your examination timings on 25th May. Okay, now. So Then what is the next year here? Once you qualified in this examination, once you qualified in this examination, so those people go to, okay, job guarantee program. So they will enter into job guarantee programming scheme. Okay, where there's who qualified people, the qualified people will go to job guarantee program. So through this job guarantee program, through that means in this job guarantee program, they are giving some training to you, and through this job guarantee program, they will be assessed places or placements. Okay, na? They will be assets. Okay, they will be assigned some placements or providing some placements through this job guarantee program. Okay, they will giving placements in different companies in real-time industries. Okay, and all are software companies only. Okay, don't think like a BPO, KPO, not like max, all are. So whatever the Naresh site is going to be placing, so those are completely the real time and software related companies only. They're going to be placed to you. Okay, now, so that is what. So this is actually the program. Okay, what is the purpose of this program? This is only. And now whatever the information is there here, okay, I was explaining this information. But somebody having a doubts like, sir, I have a 2015 pass out. Otherwise, I have a 50 percentage of percentage in my academics, okay, or 40 percentage in my academic. I am a 2021 pass out people. So this kind of doubts are there now. Somebody, okay. So whatever you have a doubts on this program, so please contact to management people. Okay, so whatever I know, I was explaining to you whatever I know. So further you need a more information, further you need a more information about this program, so please contact to management people. So management people will give more information about this program. But maximum whatever it was, I was given to you. But further, if you have to go more information, so you can go to meet management people. Okay, now, right, yes. So this is what the program. Okay, and tomorrow we will continue the stored procedures concept. Okay, one of the object of your subjects, right? Okay, yes, thank you so much.